there are many projects that involve seed capital. There are many projects that involve, uh, an ability for a lot of these DeFi projects, especially, to have some kind of raise. So maybe they raise, $12 million or $512 million or $30 million or even $1 million or whatever the case may be. And some of that can be seen as sketchy because although that seed capital has to be raised, later on that could be an issue when it comes to regulation, because sometimes within that structure there could be certain things that could factor into the Howey test. Now, I'm not saying that it will, but I'm just saying that there are certain ways that it can be. Now, that's one reason why Bitcoin really doesn't have to worry about that, because the earliest adopters into Bitcoin, they were the same people who had the biggest benefit, right? So those people that got into Bitcoin early, they said, hey, we really like what this has. We think it's something great, and we're gonna see where this technology goes. That was the whole reason why Bitcoin was created, was on the precipice of what happened in 2008 with the market crash. And out of this rise of the ashes, essentially, from Bitcoin, now recently has been created a number of different decentralized financial products and a lot of DeFi projects themselves. And so when we think about that, we have to understand the construct that is behind a lot of these projects, right? So one DeFi project that I wanted to talk to you guys about, in direct correlation with Bitcoin in terms of the way that this was done, is NRGY. NRGY was done exactly the same way Bitcoin was. Really, there was a concept that was put in and said, hey, we're going to put this DeFi project together, and the earliest adopters are going to get the biggest benefit, right? So I was one of the earliest adopters. I was one of the earliest people, really the third person to buy NRGY. That's it. And I bought it early, right? So I bought it at, what was it? $2.60, and then again at $3.20. Right? So, but it wasn't like a lot of these other projects where they're paying, these influencers, hey, we're going to give you 500,000 of our coin, or we're going to give you 10,000 of our coin, we're going to give you 1,000 of our coin, and we're going to give it to you for free. Now, what do those people probably do? They go onto the market, and as soon as that coin starts to go up in value, they immediately dump it. Now, what is the reason why in the future people are not going to be dumping NRGY? Is because of the fact that, well, you have to consider it took a long time for Bitcoin to get noticed to the point where it is now. And now people are scared. People are worried. They don't know exactly what's going on. They don't understand that Bitcoin is really in a consolidation phase. I don't think it's in a bear market, but it's in a consolidation phase right now. And they get scared. So retail people are just selling. They're selling and they're selling and they're selling. And it's not the institutional money. They are buying, right? They see that dip of maybe $1,000 or $2,000 in Bitcoin, and they're buying more because they know what this is going to bring. It's kind of like the same thing with NRGY. The difference is getting into NRGY now is like getting into Bitcoin back in 2009. So there's no actual, it's not like you could actually buy a miner and mine energy. It's not the way it works. But this DeFi project is going to shock a lot of people. It's going to establish a way of bringing people into DeFi that has never been done before. And a lot of people have taken notice of that, and they've jumped in early, and they've been able to use our automated market maker staking pool to their benefit. And they've been able to actually, have people come in who would benefit from getting involved in this automated market maker staking pool, and have them also benefit as a reward, as a thank you for coming into our platform, and their rewards are paid in our token and given to their wallet directly, right? So one thing you can't do in Bitcoin is reward someone for bringing them into Bitcoin, right? That doesn't work. But we have that capability with the smart contract that we created. And the benefit of this is in the long term. It's not in the now. It's not in the, the year from now. It's in the 2 to 5 years from now. Now, there may be a tremendous amount of volume that comes into energy, that comes into our DeFi project in the next 6 months, maybe even less than that. But the inherent nature of getting this out to the thousands upon thousands of people that are going to find out about it in the future, that's going to take some time to build. It's going to take an organic base of people, right? And so when you think about that, you have to understand that getting into a project early with the foundation that we have created is extremely important. Now, if you compare maximum supply to maximum supply, okay, just from that standpoint alone, the maximum supply of Bitcoin is about 21 million, and the circulating supply is around 18.8 million. So little over 3 million coins left that can be produced in terms of the world of Bitcoin that are not available, right? They have a halving schedule. All of that is situated within Bitcoin. Compare that to NRGY, which has a maximum supply of 4.3 million coins. That's already 1/4 less, right? 1/4 of the supply, even more than that, of Bitcoin. And the circulating supply is only 185,000 coins. Now, currently, right now, our coin is around $78 a coin. The difference is that a lot of these DeFi projects, they will associate their coins to pairings with Ethereum, or they will associate their coins to another coin that will, increase or decrease depending on what happens in the market. So what we decided to do is to actually take NRGY and pair it with the USDC. And because we paired our coin to the USDC, whether Bitcoin goes up or down, whether Ethereum goes up or down, that does not directly reflect our token price. So, what does affect our token price? Well, quite simply, the only thing that does is our holders. If our holders in the coin decide that they want to take out their profit and they want to swap it in Uniswap, and they want to put it into another coin, or they want to put it into USDC, they can do that at any point in time. There is no holding period for them to do so. They can unstake their coins from our automated market maker staking pool, and They can get out of energy. They can take their profit, they can leave. Many people have done it. In fact, we have been able to create people that have come into our platform that have made over a couple $100,000 in energy just to do that. And they've been in full control of their funds at all times. So the only deficit to those people is when they unstake, they're losing 7.5% of what they're taking out of their staking pool. So if you had 100 coins, for example, 100 energy coins, and you decided to take out all of that, you lose 7.5%. That's just part of the protocol. But there's a burn mechanism that's associated with that. And the burn mechanism is that 7.5% is burned from the permanent supply. So now, to date, we've burned over about 28,000 tokens in energy. Now, when you think about Bitcoin, Bitcoin is not a deflationary token. That means that it does not decrease in the amount of Bitcoin that's available. There's only 21 million Bitcoin that can ever be produced. But there's no thing out there that says, well, hey, we're going to decrease the supply of Bitcoin over time. You may decrease the amount of mining that goes into Bitcoin, right? So you may decrease the amount of mining that goes into how much the miners are rewarded, the block supply of how much they're receiving through that algorithmic way of being paid, right? That may decrease, which it has. And that's where the halving cycle comes in. But there is no deflationary nature inherent to Bitcoin. But there is to energy. And you're talking about a supply that's 4.3 million coins, which has already burned over 28,000. And over time, we'll burn more. So we'll actually never reach the point ever, over a number of years even, where we will have a full maximum supply of 4.3 million coins, because we physically can't. And the reason we physically can't is because we've burned over 28,000 coins. So it's going to be less than 4.3 million, probably far less than that over time, because people will want to go in and out of the market maker staking pool at any point. They can do it. But now keep in mind, this was created for a period of 100 weeks. We are approaching week 42 right now. So until February of 2023, this automated market maker staking pool will exist. Now, energy is a elastic supply. What does that mean? What that means is, if there is a higher amount of liquidity that is coming into energy, into this DeFi protocol, okay, then there will be more coins that will automatically be minted with our smart contract. However, if there is less liquidity coming in, then there will be less coins minted that particular week. And one of the biggest barriers that we have had is that we were based on Ethereum. We weren't paired with Ethereum, don't get it confused, but we were based on Ethereum, meaning that our smart contract was done on the Ethereum network. And although in the beginning that was fantastic, now it's gotten to the point where these Ethereum gas fees are absolutely astronomical. You can't have somebody come in who wants to actually stake $100 worth of energy and benefit from the yield that they could receive, and then at the same time not pay a couple $100 in gas fees. Now you might get lucky and you might get a certain time when maybe, the GUI is 50 or 60 for you to actually stake, and maybe you might pay, a little over $100. But if you can only afford $100, then how does that really benefit you, right? Over time, of course, it will benefit you, but in the beginning, initially, no. So what we decided to do is explore the possibilities of how we can make this better. And what we decided is we are going to use the Ethereum scaling solution of Matic. And so when we implement this scaling solution for Matic in the very near future, quite possibly the next couple days, we are going to have a very strong impact in the amount of people that are staking in our platform. Now, why is this possible? Well, because right now there's a tremendous amount of people that are sitting on the sidelines for energy. And the reason why they're doing this is because they want to stake their energy, but they don't want to pay those gas fees. And so I've instructed every single person I know to, if they have the capability, if they want to get involved in the project, to accumulate as much energy as they can and just hold it in their MetaMask wallet. And then when we transition to Polygon, then they can stake it, because instead of on Ethereum paying for gas fees for, maybe $200, even $300, now on Polygon and Matic, you're only going to pay maybe 40, 50 cents. So look at the upside to how you're going to benefit from that. So I just wanted to create this narrative here so that you understand that there are some strong similarities to the inherent nature of Bitcoin versus energy. The difference is that there are only a few people in the world that actually know we exist. And as I said, getting into energy now, or at least really taking your time to research it, is like getting into Bitcoin in 2009. Remember, 4.3 million supply. What has Bitcoin done when millions of people started finding out about it? It skyrocketed up to $65,000, right? Now it's corrected down to around 48. What do you think energy can do over time when you start realizing that we actually have the only NFT royalty-based marketplace that has ever been created that has actually a system called NFT bucks that are essentially stable-backed NFTs that allow you to use our protocol and stake into any of these INFTs or Infinity NFTs that will be created on our platform in the very near future. Where do you think the price of energy will go? Just think about that for a second. And I want you to do your research. I don't want you to base it on my opinion. And I want you guys to think about, what if you have the opportunity of getting into a long-term project that's going to be around for decades to come? What would you be doing right now? Would you be getting into that 1,000 or 10,000x that might happen but might not happen? Or would you want to put or at least seriously consider putting an amount into a DeFi project like this that has some intense potential for the future to create generational wealth for yourselves. Choice is yours, but I'm just giving you the information so that you understand. All right, guys, have a great day or night. Talk to you soon. Live out.